Hello. Another video, and just want to show real quick, I made this amazing sweater and this amazing pants to go with the sweater. I'm so excited about it. My own couture fashion design collection. I have a lot already in my closet. It's filling over. So I'm going to continue with this here. This is almost finished. So I was working on it also last night on the green, but it needs a couple of more touch-up things. So I'm going to pick up with the green. I'm infinitely grateful for Jiddu Krishnamurti and also Dr. David Bohm and all these other people that he has been talking to, Dr. David Shainberg and Dr. Rupert Sheldrake. Oh, amazing. Dr. Sheldrake's still alive. He does amazing research. Also an angel soul. And all these conversations, they have given me so infinitely much. You know, I thank all of them forever, because their conversations helped me to understand that no struggle, no strife, no getting angry or hollering or throwing something or, you know, or worse, what other people do, you know. Other people do much worse, you know, as just happened now with the lady who was, I don't know, I don't even know whether this story is true, but you probably read it on the news. So I'm not going to get into the details about it now, but. And also she comes from an area where problem solving, in quotation marks, the only way they have ever learned how to deal with other people in a difficult situation is basically through violence, through coercion, and through force and all of this. That's all they have ever learned. And now the son of Donald Trump is trying to exploit that situation to go against PETA and against the animal rights movement and all of this. And this was crystal clear to me that this was going to be exploited for the corporate cause, of course. You know, again, it makes me very, very sad. But, you know, one thing is for sure. That's what I learned in my life from these amazing people, that we don't solve any problems in the world with coercion, with struggle, with strife, with force, with insults, with whatever people do. Insults are a form of violence. We don't solve problems that way. The only way we solve problems is if we live by example, if we teach gently, like Eckhart and Adi Ashanti are doing, and Moji, and all these amazing people, you know, gentle teaching, you know, living your life the best and better and stellar, and show people with your example that things can be done better. Live with love and live as a mother bear and help, and not through violence. And then I have to let people know, before they come to conclusions and believe the media again and the propaganda from the right and from the corporate agenda, think about it. Think about where's the money trail going. It's usually, the propaganda always comes. All corporate propaganda always goes back to, if you follow the money trail, goes back into the bank accounts of the corporations, of the CEOs, the Donald Trump's sons, and particularly the one son who has excessively shot animals in Africa as a trophy hunter. So you want to listen to someone like this, or do you want to maybe listen to someone like Ingrid Newkirk, the founder of PETA, who has really helped animals in this world, who is one of the people who have helped animals the most, who has brought the most attention to the situation, has done massive amount of educating, informing, and has brought about tremendous results in our legal system, in the laws that are written, the bills that are proposed, bills that are signed into effect worldwide. She is one of the leading, I would say, she and Paul Watson are the absolute leaders in animal rights, to make things better, to make the world a better place. Right? So don't let Donald Trump Jr., the massive murderer and trophy hunter, don't let him persuade you into their propaganda. Okay? So that is my appeal to the public. I'm probably gonna get insulted now. I already see it coming, on my looks in particular, because arguments, there aren't any arguments to be bringing up in this discussion here. There is no argument against making the world a better place. We all want the world to be a better place. But the insults are going to be coming, and I'm prepared to bring it on. But that's what I always see on the internet. No arguments, just insults. So when you see people throwing insults instead of arguments, then you know that they are definitely not coming from the right place, the right mindset, or the right intentions. Most animal rights people are not violent. It's the other way around. This is a fact. It's a statistical fact. Most animal rights people are very docile people, and they know about peaceful activism. They know about love. They don't want to hurt anyone. They don't want to hurt any living being. They feel compassion for all. It's the religious people, the right-wingers, you know, the corporate people, the corporate paid people, the infiltrators. Those are the ones that work with violence, insults, aggression, and all of that. So just wanted people to know this because people are easily persuaded by the media, you know. Now they're using this now as a stepping stone, the story, to go against the animal rights movement. And then people will very easily, because of complacency, because it's convenient, they will easily jump on the bandwagon and say, oh yeah, it's all bullshit anyway, let's just do what we want to do and plunder the world. Those do-gooders are just full of shit. Now, I already see it all coming, you know, this kind of, this is the result of the anti-caring propaganda that comes from the corporate agenda. It comes from those who want to exploit, who want to sell guns, who want to sell weapons and bow and arrow and all this, the hunting gear and all of this, hunting lodges in Africa and so on. The ones that are profiting from the exploitation, you know, worldwide in all kinds of areas. The exploitation agenda is way huger because most people are corrupt. Most people are on the take. They are corrupted and they take the money. They take the bribe money. It's always the easier route for them. It's much easier. It's all laid out for them already. You know, if you're corrupt, you get a red carpet laid out for you to the White House. So that's why we have so many corrupt people wanting to become president. Because they're basically, some of them are basically paid to become president. I'm not going to mention any names now, but you know, if you really dig into this and if you set aside your own identification with whoever party or politician or skin color, then you will find out very quickly who is on the take, who was on the take, and who isn't, and who wasn't. Follow the money trail, you know, and do it honestly. Don't kid yourself just because your ego likes to hear a different version. So that's my appeal to the world. People who care, who deeply care, they can't hurt another living being. We caring people, really caring people, we don't shoot any innocent person. When that happens, when someone runs amok, like Elliot Rodger and that lady, for example, or many other people, that is the ego at work. It is always the ego at work when that happens. There's other things, you know, they feel frauded, they feel cheated by society. That's the ego. That's unempowerment. They blame everyone else for everything. That does not come from retaliation, by the way, never comes from the mother bear instinct, which is love. Never comes from love. Retaliation always comes from the ego. and from nothing else. That's why all of these people that teach peace, they are so vital right now, more than ever before in history. Vital, vital, vital. So incredibly important. And T.L. Swan also, very important person, very, very important. You know, even with her past of unbelievable atrocities done to her and violence, because she's a very advanced soul, she has transcended that with an inner knowledge that she brought with her into that lifetime. She has transcended it. She knows what it feels like, the anger and wanting to get even and wanting to scream it all out and retaliate and just wanting to, let it out and go against the perpetrators. She knows it very well how that feels, but she'd never act that out. She acted it out against herself instead as a means of last minute resorting to the better option, which is, it's always, like I said yesterday, it's always a slightly better option than to let it out against others. But she knew that letting it out against herself is also violence, and her body deserves to be loved. She understands that. She understands all of these things. She doesn't even need to hear someone else say it, but if someone else does say it, it resonates instantly. And she knows what she has to do. She knows she has to transcend it. She has to work on it. But it doesn't only require a God-level soul like her or an angel-level soul. We can all do it. We can all transcend the violence that has been done to us. We can all do it technically. But it requires a lot of introspection. But we can do it. It's doable. Definitely doable. We teach only by example. We teach only. Any animal, learns. Dolphins, humans, dogs, learn only through someone else showing by example. That's the same as showing a cookie. I show you I'm happy now. You know, sometimes I'm sad, but that's not depression. I used to be very depressed. I am amazed to say, I am amazed that I can say now, today, that I have transcended much of this. Not in terms of enlightenment or something like this. There's no such thing as enlightenment. That's just a propaganda. But in terms of, you know, coming to an understanding, a real understanding of what living is actually supposed to do, what my existence is actually supposed to do, what's supposed to be like. This is a very deep thing. It's very hard to explain this. It takes me many videos to explain this with words. One has to experience that for themselves in order to understand. It's very, very easily misunderstood also, this kind of subject. Very easily misunderstood. Jiddu Krishnamurti was always misunderstood. He was so heartbroken on his deathbed when he was over 90, or 90, I think he died at age 90. He said, they all misunderstood me. But they didn't, not all. Not all people misunderstood him. David Bohm has very, very, very actively participated in those conversations, and he did understand him. He was one of the people who understood him very well. And Dr. Shaneberg too. I don't know if the Buddhist scholars understood it very well. I don't know if they really grasped this, if they were able to let go of the doctrines, because they kept bringing up the doctrines. So I don't know how far they have understood it. As long as you are still coming from the doctrines, from the whatever the Buddha said, or Jesus said, or this person said, or that person said, so, or any kind of quote of any kind of philosopher, then you're clinging to what this person said. So you have to uncouple yourself from what that other person said, no matter how important it is what the other person said. You have to undo yourself from that tie, and you have to come to understand it on your own. That is the key here. Never elevate anyone onto a pedestal. That's a mistake, because then you're no longer standing on your own. You have to come to these understandings on your own. If you hear what someone else says, it resonates, it rings true, then you go into it. You go into it yourself, and you really explore it for yourself, all by yourself, all alone. When we die in the end of our lives, we are going to be very alone with this, even if someone holds our hand, which is better, of course. But we're going to be alone with facing death. We're going to be alone in our heads doing it. So that's why for some people it will be so traumatic, this facing death, even if they are taking pain medicine and so on. If the body gives up, the ego does not want to give up. And terrible things can come out of it. Ghosts can come out of that. It's true. People can end up in a state of bardo, which is the in-between. The Jehovah's Witnesses are so frightened about this. That is their form of hell. But the Jehovah's Witnesses, they do everything they can in order to get to it, because they're clinging to that religion. You have to let go of the religion, of Jehovah, of all of these things if you want to let go of Bardo, if you want to be able to face that what Jiddu Krishnamurti is talking about, death, not, which does not only imply the physical death. What he's really talking about when he talks about death is letting go of the image, the self, the ego. That's what it is, the death of the ego. And that is what Friedrich Nietzsche meant when he said God is dead. That's what he meant. What he meant is it is an idea. The concept of the concept that people have of God, the word God, is an idea. They don't understand it at all, what that is. Not at all. You know, they say, I'm close to God. They don't know what it is. That what really is that doesn't even hear, doesn't even feel them, doesn't even vibrate with that frequency. That what they want to describe as God is the infinite cosmos. There's energy and movement in it, and awareness and consciousness that doesn't resonate and understand a strife or self-flagellation or a strife of people and monks and nuns to be close to that what they think is God. That real thing doesn't hear it, doesn't vibrate on that frequency. It vibrates with this here. It vibrates with sex, with feeling sexy, feeling juicy, feeling a zest for life, feeling good about one's own padding, feeling good about one's own enthusiasm and passion and love. That's the main thing, what most people bypass, because when they're clinging to the self, they are vibrating on a completely different frequency than love. The infinite cosmos is love. And it is alive. And it's a living thing. It's like a living organism. The earth is alive and conscious. What do people do to this planet? Out of their clinging to ideas, to the idea of God. It's just an idea that they are holding on to. They're completely misunderstanding it. They're bypassing it. They reject art. Then they reject the infinite. They reject that what they think, what really means God. That's why I even shy away from that word. I don't like to use that word. I'm using it now for communication purposes, but I rather not use that. That's why I use the word blue God. Because blue God, that's art. It's my blue God here, all of this. That's the infinite cosmos. The blue sky. It's playful, it's blue, it's loving. It doesn't judge. It's not dark and murky. It doesn't sit in a cathedral, in a dark corner or a shrine or something. No, it's infinite, it's vast. It sits in forests and art, in the sky, in the infinite cosmos. It sits in the Orion Nebula and beyond. That's where it is located, if you want to use that word, location. It's located everywhere, infinitively. And that's the very word that people are afraid of. They're terrified of that word, infinity. They get mad. But that's what that is. That's what it is. That's what that, God, the blue God is. If you want to be close to it, then paint. Do artwork. You'll be very close and intimate with it. Do it. Everyone can do it. It doesn't matter. You can do it. You can take this paint, okay, mix up paint. Yes, Pamela. You can stick a brush, or this is easier. It's better for the environment, a tampon if you want to, but they cost more money. This is cheap, You can put a cotton swab in it, and someone accused me of doing tampon art. And guess what? It was an evangelical Christian, trying to be as rude and disrespectful as he possibly could be. And why? Because there was hatred behind it. Hatred for modern art. Hatred because of fear. Okay, so it all ties back into this here. So you can do it, whether you're a Christian or Jehovah's Witness or Buddhist, or if you're a trophy hunter, if you are corporate paid troll or whatever you are, stop doing what you're doing, and go into your garage, pick up some packaging material like this here, styrofoam or boxes or whatever. There's some amazing stuff that comes in packages sometimes sent to you. Some padding material that came with my Lindt chocolates. That was about a year ago. Yeah, so when that was 2 years ago already. So I mean, amazing stuff sometimes. Styrofoam, hoses, and twirls, and all kinds of things. And why throw this away? Why, it's most usually styrofoam isn't even being recycled. I don't know. I think they started doing this now, thank goodness. And we have all this waste, So pick up the waste material and turn it into art and paint it. Everyone can paint a printer packaging material. Everyone can do this, okay? You don't have to be a Leonardo da Vinci or Van Gogh or Raphael to pick this up and paint this, okay? You don't have to have any kind of creative talents at all. Anyone can do this. But the reason why they don't do it is because of self-image and because of this fear that stops them. The white canvas fear, this fear of, what if I fail? And then what? Whoa, what if you fail? Do you fail? Like, for example, is this here? I do this. Yeah, you can do it too, right? Yeah, you can do it. You can do this here. Right? There, you did it. Donald Trump Jr. too. Yeah, you can do this. Okay? You can do it. Okay? No one's judging you. You can do it in your own private bedroom or bathroom. Or that's better activity than the other the other stuff. So do it. Get into it. Get out of this. Get out of the measurement and the lust. All of this, it's all because that's all. Lust has its place. Just it's being exploited, terribly exploited. It's being exploited by the ego that says, I can only lust her but not lust her. So, you know, there we have the ego again. So, yes, Papa Doc, that's how it works. And so let go of all of this. Let go of this for one day, let go of it. Take a package material, get a paint from the hardware store, you know, mix it up, get red, yellow, blue, and white. That's all you need. And then you can mix up the most amazing things in yogurt containers, you know, that are also normally being thrown away and all of this. And you can paint something with this. And don't paint it with a big brush, also for environmental, but also for mindfulness reasons. You pick up this small cotton swab brush and you paint it mindfully and slowly and with love. Everyone can do this, okay? Do it, just do it, paint it, okay? Then you don't even need a straight line, okay? You can paint this part in a different color, this in a different. You combine the colors that you think feel good to you, you know, and then let completely go. Breathe, let go of society, let go of your lust objects, let go of the magazines or the porn sites or the video games or whatever people are doing, the violent videos, movies, whatever. Let go of the shaming, yes, Papa, let go of all of these things that are neurotic and that are just egoic. Let go of it. Let go of what other people think of you. Just try it out for one day and paint. Paint something like this. Just paint the whole thing. Every square inch of it. Square millimeter of it. And paint it with several layers and to make it nice and lush and shiny and all of this. Get gloss paint. I recommend gloss paint because that's particularly nice, right? So this one is not gloss paint. I mixed this out also up here with some other wall paint that we had, which is matte and it's not necessarily glossy, but it doesn't matter. I also like the combination of matte and glossy next to one another. I think that's also very pretty. So just get into it. And if you let go of society, yes, Papa Dog, yes, we need to do it. We need to let go of society. If you let go of society, let go of your image, to yourself or towards anyone. Become a child for a day. Then you don't need to hunt an animal. You don't need to hurt anyone. Do it, Dawn. Do it. Do this for one day. Okay. Let go of the wife that left you, or, you know, the mistresses, or the prestige, or whatever. All this, you know, prestige, mental illness. Oh, what a terrible shackle that is. Let go of it for one day. Take a packaging material, okay, maybe from a jewelry store that sent jewelry in the most amazing packages. Some of them get thrown away. Take it and paint it. You have the most amazing packages there. I know you do. So take a cotton swab, take the paint, paint it. Do this for a whole day and do nothing else. Tell everyone I'm busy. I need to recover. It's my recovery time. Do this for one day and you will see what that does to your mind and how that feels. You know, you can be a child again. There is no competition involved. That's just serving art. Serving art is serving love, is serving your body, is serving your mind and your brain cells that would much rather love than hate, that would much rather kiss an animal than hunt an animal. This is the truth. Okay? I know this 100%. I know this 1,000%. Listen to me with this. If you do this, if you paint something and you can mix colors together and do it the way it feels good to you, it feels, well, the way it feels, away from what society wants, away from male color versus female color, or elite color versus unelite color, you know, away from these type of concepts. Just what feels good to you right now in this moment. Mix up that color, do it, paint it, and dive into it. And then you are seeing that what really is the infinite. You will see the blue God, okay? And it will be there, right there for you. You will be in contact with it. And listen to what it says to you. It will talk to you in your mind. You will open up. Okay? You will get into the flow of it. This is beyond intellectualism, beyond thoughts, beyond concepts. There is an energy in it that is infinite. The infinite flow. And it's wonderful. And when you allow yourself to do this, your entire life is going to become beautiful. I promise this to you. Your relationships will become wholesome and wonderful and well. You will start seeing other people, your mistress, your wife, anyone, your children. You'll see them for the first time for who they really are. They're living beings, just like you. You'll see the rhinos, the elephants. You'll see the giraffes, all of them, for the first time for who they are, living beings. They want to live. They don't want to live in terror or grief or struggle or hardship and pain, physical and emotional. They don't want to live like this. Don't cause that anymore. Become a child again. That's what Friedrich Nietzsche suggested to do. First we're camels. Come out of the state of being a load-bearing camel. It's a metaphor. And then become lions, roaring lions. And that doesn't bring us peace either. It's just a transformation. It's a metamorphosis, flow, okay, development. And then we become the child in the end. That is what we are looking to do. That's our goal, to become the child again. That doesn't mean we become irresponsible. We're actually very irresponsible if we are staying stuck in any of the other states. So, no, it's the opposite. Becoming a child again means responsibility, means love, means I look after you, I look after the other. I feel for you, I feel that you're in pain. Here, come with me, I take you by the hand, we paint together. That is the state of being a child. Being a play child of the infinite, being loving, being a bear mother or father, bear father. You can become a bear father. Then you love all and see all where they are. We can do it. It's doable. Society doesn't tell us that. Society, with all their trolls and their monstrous dictators and bullies, that are everywhere, everywhere. In your own company, everywhere you go, then people that are just waiting for you to make a mistake. So you withdraw into this tough guy. You know what you think is tough, invincible. No one can hurt me. I hurt others, that thus I can't be hurt. It's a misunderstanding. People want safety ultimately. You don't achieve safety with violence, whoever you are. Safety is when you're with art, with the blue God, with the infinite. Then you're the child again. Then you see the other beings for who they are. That's infinite intelligence. That's being in an intelligent state of mind. That's when you're the child. And intelligent, I don't mean this in a competitive way. I mean this in a truly connected way. Truly intelligent is being truly connected to the infinite. This is true. Listen to the conversations by Jiddu Krishnamurti and David Bohm. Do it for your own sake, for your own safety. Do it so you don't get into bardo at the end of your life. When you realize that all of that strife has done you no good at all. All this hiding and all this bullying and all this playing tough and all of that. What you think is tough, forget. You don't see. You have blinders on when you are playing tough. You don't see the other anymore. Out of fear for your own ego. You don't see the animals that they want to live and they don't want to have pain. So go back to that, to the child state, and see the other living beings. Last night was very hard for me, for example. I reflected on mistakes I've made in my life. I've made many mistakes, so has everyone else. We all have made mistakes. We're all in a learning state, okay? As Suma Qinghai said, you make mistakes, don't beat yourself up over it. But it's important to become aware of the mistakes. I said many times, I'm infinitely sorry. Now I know better. I wished I had handled it the way I know it now. Whatever conflict has arisen in the past, now I know better. I didn't know then. Made a mistake. I made someone suffer because of my ignorance. We all have done it in some way, in some form. So let's not be stuck in it. Let's not beat ourselves up or do self-flagellation, which a lot of people do. They feel like they need to work off the karma and all of this. That's all just an idea. That's just an idea. The real karma, the real stuff that's beyond the concepts. The real karma is when people end up in bardo and as restless entities that are just don't know anything any better than to harass someone else. That they're in a state of frenzy and pain and suffering. Resolve it now. Not out of fear of bardo, but out of wanting to be good, wanting to, and not as an idea, but wanting to be good to yourself and others. Out of that. Life feels so much better when we love and give. Be altruistic. Particularly when you have a lot of money and leverage and social connections, and you have all of that going on. Can you imagine what you can do with it for the world if you tuned in into the child state again? And don't let other people, don't let egos discourage you from doing this. They will try. Life is a school. This is what we're supposed to learn, is to become peaceful. Go within yourselves, all of you beings, in bodies or outside of bodies, in physical or non-physical. Go within yourselves. Continue learning. It's nice, the silence right now. It's good to have silence sometimes. Nature offers wonderful sounds. Go out into nature, wherever that is. If you are in Africa, go out into nature and pet an animal, kiss an animal, instead of hurting them. Listen to the sounds. That's introspection, that is meditation. Sometimes these processes of introspection require us to navigate away from the people who would hold us back. If you're surrounded with a whole lot of people who are in that same state of frenzy that you were in or are in, you gotta navigate away from that. In a peaceful way, not, dramatic way, but, hang out with those people that are supporting your healing process. All healing is interconnected. It's also psychologically, physical, and mental. Goes together. Breathe. Never forget to breathe. Last night I said I'm infinitely sorry to all living beings who suffer. The images came back into my brain, the horror images, all of this. But I'm not running away from it with a radio or music. I sit with it, I feel it, I go through it. Don't run, said Jiddu Krishnamurti. Don't run away from it. And then something else will arise out of this. Something very beautiful will come out of it. When we face the truth and the facts and the problems and all of this, we face it. We say, I'm sorry, I'm infinitely sorry, I feel with you. Now let's find solutions, real solutions, to help all beings, to free all beings from suffering, make all beings feel good, and heal everything, ourselves, the planet, all the beings, all the animals.